I just pulled up to the State of Delaware surplus vehicle auction. Today's the inspection period. They have 33 cars that they're selling. But what I'm most interested in are 2 Caprices that are here, 7 Crown Vic police Interceptors, and 2 Tahoe PPVs. Now the Caprices are PPVs too. Now this auction is interesting in that the State of Delaware, they do a really good job of disclosing all the major issues that they know of on these cars. For instance, one of the Tahoes have a bad transmission. They announced that. One of the Caprices has a broken control arm. Now I don't know if it's the upper, lower, front, rear, but it's up to me to find that out. But they do a really nice job with sharing all that information. However, the little things like if the air conditioning's not working, the power steering's broken, that's up to you. It's up to you to find out that during the inspection period. And that's what I'm getting ready to go do. I'm going to go into this lot. We're going to take a look at these cars, figure out which ones we like, which ones we want to bid on. We have to factor in the risk of buying at auction as well. So we can't be paying full retail, obviously, because we can't do a full, thorough test drive of the car. However, we can go through it, inspect it, turn it on, start it, check the brakes, see if the transmission engages, plug in a code reader as well. We're just limited with being able to drive the car, and that's the risk factor, and that's why these prices have to be lower than what you could get on, say, Facebook Marketplace. So let's jump in there and take a look. All right, let's start with the Caprice. This is a 753 for the lot number, which is a 2012 Chevy Caprice PPV, 138,000 miles, a broken control arm. At first glance, man, I like these cars. I like them a lot. The body on this one's really clean, real nice. I'm seeing only minor scratches in it, and I got 2 plugs over here on the trunk. Here's like a little tiny scratch right there, and the same thing over here on the other side, on the driver's side quarter panel. Over there, nothing on the roof. And inside it's a 9C1 spec. So we've got the vinyl flooring. We got the power seat controls that need to get put together. And then you get the metal center console. You have a power port. Looks like the battery may have been disconnected at one point. There's the miles. Looks like they bumped up a little bit. Yeah, let's give it a start. All right. Yep, 6-liter V8, flex fuel, displacement on demand. And that's the biggest weakness on these cars, is that DOD engine and the active fuel management. I hate when these things get hacked up. All right, with the jumps, you started right up. Here's what we want to take a look at. We want to take a look at the crank pulley. Looking for a wobble in it, and yep, we got plenty of wobble. I see that. One of the common ailments with this. I'm listening for any ticking from the lifters or cam. I can't tell. I'm not hearing anything obvious. Let's check the AC. Down, turn up the fan. Nice and cold, like I expect. ABS fault. That's not good. Track fault, okay. ABS fault. 5,800 idle hours, outrageous. So, 2012 Caprice has a bunch of issues. You saw the error codes on the dash. Right now the bidding is at $2,700. If it stays around that price, I'd be a bidder, I'd be a buyer. I don't know if it's gonna stay that low though. We're gonna find out tomorrow when the bidding online closes around 8 p.m. or so. All right, lot number 714, 2012 Caprice PPV, 109,000 miles. Current bidding is $2,850. I like this blue. Tires look better than the other one, man. The other car was beat. This has a little more body blemishes on it. Nothing dramatic. There's a hole here from a spotlight. You can see the roof-mounted lights were here at one point. There's a plug on the other side for the wiring. Backed up against the fence, so I can't see what's going on back there. We'll have to pull it out a little bit. On the other side, we've got little hazy headlights, which is so common on these cars. And headlights are $1,500, by the way, if you're looking to buy new ones to replace them. Looks good. Looks like somebody hit it with the pump handle. 2 plugs in the trunk again. Let's take a look inside. 9C1 spec with the vinyl flooring and the metal center console. Regardless if it's 9C1 or 3, they both get the vinyl back seats. That weird shifter on the 9C1s. Starts right up. Right away I hear ticking. Right away. Especially at a cold startup is when it's most prominent. Stability check engine. I could throw the code reader on that and we'll do that shortly. Take a look at that. AC is blown cold. ABS, check engine. Oh my gosh. 7,100 hours on these. That's why I had some DOD issues. Clean. Same situation with this one, $2,800. If the bidding stays about that amount, I'd be a buyer. I'd take a chance and we'll figure out the codes and get this thing back on the road again. The ticking is a definite issue though. $4,000 to do a displacement on demand delete kit with the cam and lifters and everything else that goes along with that. The pulley, you know, $100 or so. So I'm not too worried about that part of it. This can get really pricey really fast. So all of a sudden you're in $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 range after you do the DOD and the upgrades and the sensors and stuff, and then you're just wildly overpriced. So this might just be off my list. $2,800 might be the absolute max dollar value that I would spend on this one. All right, this Tahoe is lot 713, a 2008 Tahoe, 97,000 miles. Bidding is at $1,700. At first glance, it looks pretty good, but then when you get up close, you see it's had some issues. The tires are worn, but they're not scrubbed on the sidewalls like I expected. There's some blemishing on the paint, pretty minor. This is interesting. There's like a little push out right here, like a pimple. The body looks fair. It looks pretty good, actually. You know what? It has a good bumper cover, which is nice. It's a PPV, obviously, so it's two-wheel drive. Inside, police console, gun rack, vinyl back seat, partition, mess of wires, things just cut and discarded. Has a dead battery, doors are locked. Even putting the jumper on there, wasn't able to get it to start. But frankly, this thing is such a mess inside, I've got no interest. Bidding's at $1,700. Knowing that these have DOD issues, that's probably top dollar for this. I see this more as a parts car, frankly. Lot 754, 2011 Chevy Tahoe PPV, 108,000 miles. Bad transmission, which is interesting because I believe these have a 6-speed. No center console. Might be dog hair. What's this? Dog. Yeah, it looks like it just cleans off. Looks like the grab handle. Oh, there it is. Here's the grab handle. Ah, that again. Come on. But otherwise, the interior is fairly clean. It's missing the cover, of course. I'm betting because this thing has a bad transmission, it was in service right up to the time the transmission went bad, and that it probably does not have a DOD issue. It's probably dumped off at the auction because of the transmission and nothing else. Yeah. Bidding right now is $1,950. It's a fair price for a 2011 with 108,000 miles. So $2,000 for the truck right now, maybe $3,000 for the transmission, $5,000 total. You have a pretty nice 2011 Tahoe PPV. Let's see what the bidding ends up at tomorrow night. Next up are the Crown Vics. This is lot number 750. This is a 2007 Crown Vic Police Interceptor. 61,000 miles. Love the blue. It needs a paint correction. A lot of scratches on it. Looks like it's just been run through car washes its whole life. I don't see any plugs in it. The body's really clean. Oh, here's one little blemish. Oh, that's just no plugs on the roof. Check out the interior. It's got carpeting. clean as anything. No holes on the dash. Upgraded radio. Let's start it up. Starts right up. Check out the miles. Idle hours are nothing. Transmission engages quickly and smoothly. No noises. Firm. Reassuring. Man, this is the car. This is the one to buy. Ice cold air. Bidding on this one right now is $1,500. And if you're in your market and you're looking for a nice Crown Vic, this is the one to get. Man, that's a good looking car. Perfect condition too. Look at those headlights. They're like brand new. If you're looking for a nice car to drive for the next several years with no problems, or minimal problems at least, this is it. All right, to keep going with the Crown Vics, 721 is a 2008 Police Interceptor, unknown miles. Bidding is at $150 right now. I can't imagine, check that out. Can't imagine it's in that bad condition for that money. I suspect the odometer cluster and all that has gone out. Looks like the back seat has been pulled out. Probably had a partition back here. Look how nicely detailed this thing is before it came to the auction. North Sea blue. Oh, yep, there's sticker marks. You know, $100 replaces that cluster and gets it rebuilt. Starts right up. Looking at that. That might not be a big deal. Yep, the cluster's out. Take a look at 716. We have a spotlight hole right away. I see that. We have an antenna on the roof. I'm glad that the antenna's still there to cover the hole. Tire's a little worn. Front bumper looks good. I'm seeing a little bit of discoloration here on the door where the sticker was. Not a big deal. There's always a ding there on the rear door on the driver's side. Looks like the trunk has some marks in there from things being thrown on it. Looks like the trunk lid does not have any burn marks in it. This side looks good. Again, man, look at that. It's got to be where the sun just bakes those stickers on and burns the paint underneath. Let's take a look inside. Got the adjustable pedals, which is kind of cool. It's got the rail system. A vinyl back seat on this one. And then 718, 2010, 154,000 miles. Bidding is at $700. Body's nice on this. Some minor blemishes. I think a lot of that to clean up. Got a ding on the lip of the trunk. Got a plug. That's a tiny one too. Antenna on the roof. Body looks nice. Looks really nice. It's weird. I've never seen this before on these hubcaps. Wonder if it's been cleaned with something that was too aggressive. Oh, wow, look at that. I don't know what was going on there. Same thing down here. Let's take a look inside. Close it up. Clean interior. The two holes, which I expect. That's minor. Let's take a look at the engine. What do we got? I can barely make it out. I can't even, maybe in the dark I can see it better. So idle hours is going to be a mystery. $700, you know, for 2010, 154,000 miles. You know, there's better Vics here at this auction, even if you pay a little more. But this one's nice. I mean, it's presentable, looks good, that's for sure. It's been cared for. So I'm back home from the inspection, and this auction is a really good example of some of the police cars that the state of Delaware uses and they sell off after a few years. I went to that inspection period to look for a car that I could play with, that I could have fun with, I could fix up, drive and enjoy for a few months, and sell and basically break even on. So I went there for that intent. The inspection was Wednesday, and that's the video that you saw. The online bidding ended Thursday night, which is where I got the sale prices on. And then today is Friday. So I filmed a recap after I did the inspection. I did a recap video sharing with you what I was looking for, what I wanted to pay, and so forth. But after seeing what they sold for, it just didn't make sense to include that in this video. But I did want to provide some kind of recap. And basically, that Caprice was top on my list. It really was. That gray Caprice, the broken control arm, it had some faults and it needed some tires. But I figured if I could get that car in the $3,500 range, I could drive and enjoy that car, fix it up. Control arms weren't nothing but $65. Tires, you know, you can go to Walmart and get good tires that fit in the right size and so forth, that don't break the bank. I figured I'd have under $6,000 in that car, and that's about what it would sell for. Once they hit 100,000 miles, those cars just plummet in value. But final bidding went way beyond what I was going to tolerate for that car. The other Caprice, the blue, I love that blue, but it had DOD issues, it had faults, it had the lean burn situation going on. I don't know if it was just a fuel pump, a vacuum leak, O2 sensors, who knows what was causing the lean burn in the bank 1 and 2. It was way beyond what I wanted to get into, especially having to drop $4 grand for the displacement on demand repairs. All of a sudden you're at $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 on that car, and there's just no value in that for me. I'd be upside down way quicker than I wanted to be. There was those 2 Tahoes. There was an 08 that sold for way more, especially consider what the interior looked like. That thing was a mess. The 11 Tahoe PPV, that was interesting to me. New, well, rebuilt transmissions I'm seeing for $2,300. I could do the transmission swap myself. Even if I paid somebody to do the transmission swap, I figured if I could get that truck for, say, $4,000, I'd be happy. I'd be in it for $7, $8 grand after doing whatever other repairs may be needed. But that thing bid up another $1,000 past what I was able to tolerate. Now, the Crown Vic, remember lot number 750, the Sonic Pearl Blue, 61,000 miles, 187 idle hours. That thing was fantastic. I bid up on that car. Once it got past a little over 2,000, I just washed my hands and walked away from it. That thing ended at $4,200. Outrageous amount of money for that car. But in a way, it's well worth it. If you're looking for a good car that doesn't cost you a lot of money to keep up and maintain and easy to repair and parts are cheap and so forth, that was a great buy. That also tells me that folks spending that much money really value and appreciate those Crown Vics. So that was kind of cool to see. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the video tour of the auction lot and what I was seeing, the inspection and the sale prices. And as always, thanks so much for watching.